Hi guys, welcome to Metal and Rock Zone. Today I want to talk about a concert that I went to see the other day. That was Sepultura, supported by Sacred Reich and Crowbar. There are new concert reviews out. I just had out now Arch Enemy, Behemoth, and Carcass. That was about 10 days ago or something like that. European Seeds Tour 2022, and then I also saw Amon Amarth, Machine Head, and the Halo Effect. That was Vikings and Lionheart Tour. That was actually the day after the Carcass thingy, or Arch Enemy and Behemoth. So I have two reviews out on these things, so check that out. But yeah, so this is a tour, European tour of Sepultura and Sacred Reich and Crowbar to support Sepultura's Quadra album that came in 2020, and then Sacred Reich has an album out in 2019 called Awakening. Yeah, who is Sepultura today? That's maybe a good place to start, because it's one of the most heated debates in metal is Sepultura is nothing without the brothers, and they started this, and indeed they did. I mean, in the albums that they were on, this is the legendary stuff. This is stuff that we like. But today it's Paulo Jr., the bass player, who's been from the start. Andreas Kisser on guitar, that came in very early on, I think even on the second album or something like that. A guy called Eloy Casagrande on the drums, and then Derek Green, the singer. Actually, the funny thing about it is that Derek Green has been a member of Sepultura longer than the Cavalera guy. So but he's still kind of seen as the new guy. It's a really, really funny thing. And it's the same with, for example, Deep Purple. When you think Deep Purple, those of you who know that band, you think Ritchie Blackmore, but actually the guy that just left now, what was his name? Steve Morse. He has actually been with Deep Purple longer than Ritchie Blackmore. I had never seen this band before, and I drove 3 hours to a town called Zlin here in the Czech Republic. I drove from Prague because I really, really wanted to see them. And just a few days before the gig, there was a venue change. It was supposed to be like a sports hall, like a arena, a smaller arena, but it would move to a 550 people's rock bar that I think is operated by the organizer. And it was interesting. I missed Crowbar. I'll admit that I just couldn't make it on time. But when I came there, it's kind of like a strip mall, and I parked my car, and there was a red ribbon, like a police ribbon or whatever separator, next to the Sepultura bus. And the first person that I saw was Andreas Kisser from Sepultura coming out of the tour bus, because I think this place, the venue, doesn't really have a backstage area. So it was very intimate, and it was interesting to see, like, there was a supermarket, a drugstore, a toy store, and like, yeah, I have never been to a heavy metal concert before in a strip mall, but that was really, really interesting. I was happy about it because I thought, okay, it's a smaller venue, it's going to be more intimate, and it turned out to be right. So start with Sacred Reich, because I missed Crowbar. I'm sorry about that, guys. I know a lot of people were there for them. I was never really into Sacred Reich. I never really kind of got their music. It was missing something. I don't know. It was too sophisticated sound or something. There was something wrong. But I still felt like, okay, I drove all this way. I need to see this band. And I also wanted to tell you guys about it. So kind of did it for you. They started in the 80s. They're sort of like a second wave thrash metal band. And two of the members have been there from the start. That's this Phil Rind, the bassist and vocalist, and then one of the guitar players, Wiley Arnett. He's been there. Yeah, he's been there kind of from the beginning. I think he came 1 year after they started or something like that. And then the drummer is Dave McLean. He used to drum with Machine Head for over 20 years. He's an amazing drummer, actually. And then there is another guitarist, the lead guitarist. His name is Tim Radiswell. Yeah, Tim Radiswell. And so that's the band today. So kind of, yeah, Dave McLean had been in Sacred Reich, then left for Machine Head. So he's kind of part of the old time. And they played 9 songs, 4 from the new album Awakening that came out in 2019, and the rest was old stuff. You know, they played The American Way, Surf Nicaragua, and that was the final song actually. And I was surprised. It was great atmosphere, much better band live than in the albums. Amazing frontman. He's good with the crowd. You can just feel he's a genuinely nice guy somehow, which of course is no surprise when it comes to metals. I don't think there are a lot of assholes in metal. You know, they might look like that, but they actually usually have hearts of gold. And the drummer was amazing, and it was his birthday, I think. Maybe he had a better day because it was his birthday or anything. But yeah, it was just really good, and the band is very solid. You know, they play really nicely, and some of the new stuff was actually great. I'll go back and check some of the new stuff. So afterwards, I was kind of like, oh, I'm really happy that I went to see them, and I saw that the crowd liked them a lot, and yeah, it's maybe in hindsight it was actually good that I hadn't listened too much to them, because then I might have come with some expectations that would not have matched. You know, for me, for example, it didn't really matter if it was 4 new songs, because I didn't know all the old songs too well. I just knew kind of the greatest hits, let's say. So that was actually a very pleasant surprise. It was not a big show, but very intimate somehow. You know, yeah, 500 people in a kind of a box. You can see we have some live videos from there on the channel, so you can check it out. I'm gonna have to give Sacred Reich a 9 for this performance. The pros were there was a great sound, good chemistry, both within the band, obviously, and towards the crowd. I really like that. The drummer is amazing. The frontman is fun. Yeah, and great to have like this thrash metal with 2 guitars. It really kind of, how do you say, safeguards the old elements. You know, like very tight, very heavy, and I really like that. The negatives could have been a little bit longer. It wouldn't have been bad if they played 2 more songs or something like that. I will try and see them again if they come around somewhere where I'm nearby. And yeah, as I said, you can check out, there are some videos from that gig on the channel. After the break, we got Sepultura, and yeah, I was very much looking forward to this, and so was the crowd. People were screaming like, you know, Inner Self and stuff like that, and you know, I knew they wouldn't play Inner Self. I always check the set list before I go, so I knew they wouldn't do that. But the guy next to me, who was a little bit drunk, he obviously didn't know, because he screamed Inner Self for like 10 minutes non-stop. They did 17 songs, 6 from the new album Quadra that came out in 2020, and out of those 6 new ones, there was actually just one that I liked. I remember Agony of something, and then 3 from Arise, 3 from Roots, and 3 from Chaos AD. So the old ones, they really rock. They did a great job on them, and I to the Derek Green haters, he does a great job on those songs. The new ones, yeah, as I said, they didn't feel as good, and some of them I actually liked more on the album, because I kind of liked that Quadra album. I don't know, I've been listening to it and I kind of liked it, but seeing those songs live wasn't the same feeling somehow. And yeah, Derek was great with the crowd. This drummer is amazing. He's really good. Yeah, and the show wasn't very big. It was a small venue. I'm sure that they had something greater in mind, but they had some cool lights and stuff like that. But I felt the difference from when they were playing the old songs. I mean, I guess that's the thing with most concerts like this. You know, people come for the oldies, but with these guys, it was a big difference in the atmosphere somehow. You know, whenever they played some of the new songs, they kind of lost the crowd a little bit. And I don't know. I mean, this town, this Zlin, I remember, it's a small town, you know, relatively. And I think it's kind of like a B or a C market even. I think it's kind of brave to come there with 6 new songs out of a set of 17. I get it that they want to tour their album and all that, but if they would have played in Prague where there's 1 million people, it's slightly different. I think some people that were there might have been a little bit disappointed with their set list mix somehow. And yeah, the highlight was Roots Bloody Roots for me, and yeah, the new song that I like was Agony of Defeat, but somehow the rest of the new songs didn't really gel with me. They had good sound. I missed a little bit the second guitar, you know, like second guitar, like that yeah, the sound got a little bit thin during the soloing somehow, when it was only the bass playing the rhythm part. And I don't know, I was happy to see them, but on the other hand, there was a lot of moments where it kind of felt off. So I'm gonna give them 7.5 out of 10. And the pros is that when it was on, it was really on. I was happy to see them finally live, and I think Derek Green is good with the crowd. I know that there are haters, but I think he does a great job. These are going into a band like Sepultura as a frontman is probably not very easy. The negative, there was too many new songs. I know why. They want to tour the album, and the sound got a little bit thin, and the atmosphere was kind of up and down. It kind of, yeah, it was push and pull a little bit. I will be seeing them again next summer. I just found out that they are playing at a festival called Brutal Assault. We actually have a review on that festival up here from last summer, and they have been announced as one of the headliners there. So I think that will be an interesting thing, because the set list will probably be different when you go to a festival than when you're just touring your album. So I look forward to that. I don't know if they will play Inner Self. I'll probably call that drunk guy and bring him along to give him hope. There are videos from this gig on the channel, and there are other reviews out, as I said earlier, with Arch Enemy and Carcass and Behemoth, and then Amon Amarth and Machine Head and the Halo Effect, right? Yes, the Halo Effect. So check that stuff out. Let me know if you've seen Sepultura, what do you think of the new album, if you've seen them on this tour. What do you think of Derek Green? Controversial topic. Like and share and all that stuff, and I'll see you guys around. Thank you. Bye.